So Matt, when you talk about the sponsors, so we're going to use some of this? Some of the stream stuff?
I'm going to do the streams as much as I can.
Are you going to like put a little...
Well, because at Medibank you can't put any signage on the barriers.
No.
So everything's got to be done through the stream. So,
no, I mean, whether you do, you said we're going to look for sponsors.
I'm looking for league sponsors.
For the women's league?
Yeah, for the league, not the stream. But we're going to use the stream as one of the advertisements. It's like...
Yeah, that's what if you can make up a
it's like
short one.
Our finals, we have 1,500 people tuning into the stream. That's 1,500 eyes. It's going to be viewing it's going to be on the boards every time there's a game. Both sides of the arena. So the fans will see the boards and we'll see the boards on the streams.
Okay, yeah. That's good.
Okay, welcome to the grand final for the AWIHL season for 2014 and 15. Being played between the Sydney Sirens and the Melbourne Ice. It's 16:28 in the first period. Still 0-0. Face-offs down in the Sydney zone. Hey, Sharna Godfrey pushing the puck forward. Collected by the Melbourne Ice by Del Basso in the neutral zone. Parrington gets the puck over the line on the blue line. It's in the Sydney zone. Push back into the Melbourne zone, actually by the Melbourne player. Kept in by the Sirens forwards. Now collected by the Melbourne Ice. Pushed out to Del Basso in the neutral zone. Carries it into Sydney zone. Saved by the Sydney goaltender. After battles on the corner, now Sharna Godfrey has the puck in the neutral zone. Dumps it in on net. And it's a cover up by the Melbourne goaltender. I believe we have two import goaltenders playing today, both, I'm not actually sure where they're from, maybe from Canada. Number 35, Mikola Jeffries, is playing for the Sydney Sirens. Some close battles in and around the Melbourne zone. And a penalty is being called. Penalty is being called on Melbourne Ice. And the penalty is going to number 13 for the Melbourne Ice. That's Julie Mundy. So the Sirens will have their first power play. 15:06 in the first. So face off to the right of the Melbourne goaltender. Face off won by Sydney. Sirens moving the puck around in the zone. Shot blocked. I believe Christine Cockrell, one of the Melbourne Ice defensemen. regroup with the goaltender and Amelia Matheson. The Dice gain possession of the puck. Okay, and McCabe for Sydney's carrying it all the way back into the Melbourne zone. Trying to get set up here to get a shot in the power play. Shot from Kaylee White, trickles through. Oh, another shot blocked from the point, taken by number 9, the Sydney Sirens. Puck's carried in. And there's the first goal of the game. Scored by the Melbourne Ice, number 22. I think that is an import as well. I was trying to see. Nope, 72. Number 72, Christina Bestlin scores the first goal of the game at 14:02 in the first period. So we're back to full strength. Oh no, we're not back to full strength. Pardon me, that's a shorthanded goal by Melbourne. So Sydney's still in the power play for 53 seconds. Puck dumped in by Parrington from the ice, collected by the Sirens defenseman. Carried in. Shot goes wide, the Melbourne goaltender still in possession of the puck. Collected by Melbourne, dumped out to the neutral zone where Remy Harvey makes a D-to-D pass and receives it back from her D partner. Some more D-to-D passing between Holly McFadden and Remy Harvey. Trying to get the puck through the neutral zone. Parrington gains possession and dumps it down. So now we're back to full strength, 5-on-5 in the first period, 13 minutes to go, 1-0, Melbourne over the Sydney Sirens. So Melbourne's putting a little pressure on here, a few shots. Finally Sydney's able to get it out over the blue line. Unable to get it into the Melbourne zone though, stopped at the blue line by defenseman number 5, Georgia Carson. Okay, puck's gone and tipped in back into the Sydney zone. Collected by Amelia Matheson, past Andrea Lim. Tips it into the neutral zone. Amelia Matheson has the puck. Cross ice pass, bringing it into the Melbourne zone. Trying for the puck in the corners. Sydney's keeping the puck down low. Trying to get a pass across ice. Oh, and a quick shot onto the Melbourne goaltender, who saves it. And now Melbourne's got the puck and coming back into Sydney zone. And almost an offside there.
Canberra,
Crystal.
what's going on?
Crystal. So Crystal Vanderwerf has the puck down behind the Melbourne zone. Puck's moving through the neutral zone. Kelly White gains possession, makes a pass directly to the Melbourne player who gets to the puck, skates it in the zone behind the net, just looking for someone to pass to. And she finds Shona Green, who shoots the puck wide of the net. Finally, Matheson's able to get the puck and push it out into the neutral zone. Puck's back in the Melbourne ice zone. And Sydney's able to collect the puck in the neutral zone and push it back into the Melbourne end zone. Trying to make a pass. It's picked off by a Melbourne player. Sydney has the puck. Looks like McCabe trying to make a pass, get it out. It's back out into the neutral zone. And Sydney has the puck. They're on the attack. Puck is tipped, gets in front, and the Melbourne goaltender is able to cover it up. So 51 left in the first, so 1-0 Melbourne over the Sydney Sirens. Face off just outside the Sydney zone for an off ice or an offside dump in by Melbourne. First time the Sydney Sirens have been in the finals for several years in AWIHL after a very close games, both against the Brisbane Goannas and then against the Adelaide Adrenaline. Score with 1 second left to go in the semi-final this morning, so they've had to battle and recover and come back out here ready to fight again. A team, the Melbourne, who have not played since Saturday afternoon, so they've had a big long rest. So far, looks like they've come prepared and they're going to give it everything they can. Oh, and a close offside call. Call to the Melbourne ice. We've seen him be quite relaxed playing, probably due to playing one last game in the Sydney Sirens. But it works in the AWIHL if you don't know. Sort of a double elimination if you're one of the first two seeded teams from the regular season. You play first thing on Saturday, and if you win, you get a bye straight to the finals. And then if you lose that game, you have to play the winner of the third and fourth place teams in the morning. So this year, that first game was held between Melbourne and Adelaide, with Melbourne being successful in getting the bye and Adelaide having to play the winner of the Sydney and Brisbane game, which is a close 2-1 game, which Sydney won and had the opportunity to play for a berth in the finals. And in a thriller this morning, they were able to be successful to be here playing right now. So very exciting for the Sydney Sirens. They've been fourth place for the last few seasons, so they've really made a lot of progress over last year, both on and off the ice of their club. They've got a new coach, and it looks like they're here to play, and I think they're feeling quite confident that they may have a chance to win the championship. So we wish both teams very good luck. I'm sure the Melbourne Ice are feeling quite confident as previous winners. So we continue through here. Battling for in the neutral zone, Sydney grabs the puck and is heading towards the Melbourne ice. Shot on goal, quickly covered, and there's a face-off, and going to be now to the it's going to be to the right of the Melbourne goaltender. So we got a face-off, and the Sydney Sirens are in the power play for another 54 seconds. So the Sirens really need to take advantage of some of these power play opportunities. They're going to be successful today. Oh, no, they're certainly getting a lot of pressure at the net and going to the net for extra rebounds. So some good coverage from the Victorian goaltender, who is an import, and her name is Shanley Peters. And a dump in, long ice by the Melbourne Ice. We're still on the penalty kill, so no whistle, of course. Play on. Sydney gain possession of it through the neutral zone. And they get it into the offensive zone. And again, putting some more pressure onto in around the Melbourne goaltender.
Not worry about having space on there.
.5d6 left in the first. Still 1-0 for the Melbourne Ice. Back to 5-on-5. So there's a lot of puck possession going back and forth between Melbourne and Sydney through the neutral zone. If I had to take a guess, I would probably think the Sydney's had more shots on goal, but perhaps Melbourne's had some more dangerous scoring opportunities. So Captain Kelly Wyatt grabs the puck to the neutral zone. And pushes the puck deep to again. The puck gets down and is on Melbourne goaltenders, forced to cover it up, and another face-off to the right side of the Melbourne goaltender. And the puck moves down into the Sydney Sirens end zone. The puck being moved around. Parrington and Del Basso. Puck picked up by Crumpton and quickly turned the other way with McCabe and McConey. Overall today so far there's been a lot of puck movement in either the corners, cycling and looking for a pathway to get pucks into the net. So a change there for the Melbourne Ice. Sirens unable to capitalize there. And the puck stays in their zone with a lot of pressure coming from the Melbourne Ice. Oh, and some traffic in front, and there are Melbourne players in the crease on top of the goalie. And the goaltender's helmet comes off. Play is blowed down. So it looks like there'll be a face-off to the right to the Sydney goaltender now. So it's something both teams maybe being a little bit conservative. Their puck movement, probably equal puck possession. I think that it's important the Sydney Sirens try to equal the score here in the remaining 3:56 of the first period. So there's a bit of a delay here for the face-off with the referee, Bill Newbound, just making sure that the Sydney goaltender has their helmet and is ready for play. And Sirens are trying to get it out of their zone. A bit of a collision between Thacker and Godfrey along the boards. And Melbourne Pageant steals the puck away. Unable to get a shot though. And now Sydney has his puck possession again in the corner. And a save by the Sydney goaltender. From a long shot out from the D. Now the puck's collected along the boards again by Godfrey. Teed comes in from the point, try to hold it there. Pageant's working along the board, so is Bestland. And Melbourne's able to keep possession. It's probably the most possession they've had in the Sydney zone all period. Sure that they're keen to capitalize.
Are you?
So the Sirens able to fend off a lot of pressure from the Melbourne in their zone and quickly get it down, and a shot from Godfrey before she goes for a change. Melbourne grabs possession of the puck again though. Quickly they're back into the Siren zone. But Shona Green has no help, and it goes for a change as the rest of her linemen come on the ice. Madison picks up the puck at the blue line, able to clear the zone. And Angie Lim gets the puck and tries to pass to her teammates. Makes the pass, tipped into the zone. So now Sydney's back in the Melbourne zone.
Really that cold? Yeah, really. Real.
Oh, we might have another penalty here. Tay dropped Sarah T from Melbourne. Just got to shove one of the Sydney players who's fallen down. Seems like Bill Newbound's aside, there wasn't a penalty. So go for a change. Play's going to continue 5-on-5. Face off to the left of the Melbourne goaltender. Well, the puck popped up behind the net on top. Quickly comes back into play. And now the puck's moved back into the Sydney zone. Yeah, not a lot of big threats. Goaltenders are being challenged, but I think again, the game is being played a bit conservatively at the moment. So 23 seconds left here in the first period, still 1-0 for the Melbourne Ice. Oh, the Sydney Sirens. Bit of a collision in the neutral zone there between McCabe and Godfrey and Trigger by the looks of it. A little bit of scramble in front of the net. But again, no offensive threat. So that will end the period. 1-0 Melbourne over the Sydney Sirens at the end of the first. Lots of hockey still to play. And Okay, and play is resumed for the second period now. We also have on the ice some other internationally accredited officials. Bill Newbound does have his international card for being a referee. And he has just called a penalty. And that looks like a tripping penalty is going to be called. Perhaps not tripping penalty. Anyways, a penalty is being called against the Sirens, actually on Amelia Matheson. So the other accredited official has their international license. His international license is Chris Parks, who is the linesman who's about to drop the puck to the left of the Sydney goaltender. So the Melbourne Ice go on the power play. This is the first power play of the game for the Melbourne Ice. And quickly the Sydney Sirens let the puck down into the Melbourne zone. They have possession, looking to break out, which they do through the neutral zone and carry the puck across the line. And the linesman calls it offside. We also have another linesman, Beth Beauchamp, who also has her AWIHL accreditation as a linesman. She's also a current player of the Adelaide Adrenaline, so she is not working the games this weekend. We have had some female officials from Melbourne come over and work the previous game as well. So I don't believe the Melbourne female officials from Melbourne are have their license, but they are accredited, obviously, and from Melbourne, and have been reffing games there all season. So Erica Marshall was the referee of the bronze medal game, and Peter Goulding was a linesman. So we congratulate the females for coming over and traveling over from Melbourne to work our AWIHL. The AWIHL does support the development of players, but also coaches and officials and administrators. So a bit of momentum here for the Ice. We now have Sharnita Crumpton joining her teammate Amelia Matheson in the box, and it is a 5-on-3 for the Melbourne Ice. There's 4 seconds left in Amelia Matheson's penalty, so the Ice will remain on the power play. But it was now a 5-on-4 as Matheson steps back on the ice. So the Ice are generating some offense and putting some pressure on the Sirens at the moment, keeping strong possession of the puck as they try to score here on the power play. Sydney Sirens on good positioning, and Matheson, who just stepped on the ice, is able to jump into the play and carry the puck all the way down into the Melbourne zone. strong effort by Matheson there coming out of the box. 35 seconds left in Crompton's penalty. And a high stick by Pageant just inside her zone. So the whistle is called, and there will be a face-off in the inside of the Melbourne Ice offensive zone to the left of the Melbourne goaltender. So again, 29 seconds left in the power play. And there is a late change here. Nope, correct that. It's actually just a fifth player coming back onto the ice. Due to the delay, the center is kicked out. So, McCabe off the draw there is able to get a shot on net. She's been playing very strong all weekend. Play goes back down to the Melbourne zone, and a quick pass across to Shona Green, who is able to deflect it into the back of the net. So, that would take the play back to 5-on-5, and now the score is 2-0 to the Melbourne Ice. So a power play goal with 16 seconds left in Crompton's penalty. So a bit of an offensive rush there. Seems the Melbourne Ice are a bit fired up after that goal, generating a lot more offense now in the Sydney zone. But Sydney able to hold them off, and some good saves by their goaltender. We now got another face-off to the left of the Sydney defenseman, or Sydney goaltender, sorry. So a bit of battling here and some good stick work by number 2 from the Melbourne Ice. But Sydney goaltender are able to make some big softs. Okay, so we have the National Women's Senior Team heading to the World Championships in Spain from March 11th to 17th. And we have some players that are participating in the AWIHL from each of the 4 teams who have been selected to this team. So it's a bit of plug for them. From the Sydney Sirens, we have number 8, Remy Harvey. We have so that's the defenseman from the Sirens. We have Michelle Coonan, number 91 from the Melbourne Ice, who's been the backup goalie all weekend. We have number 13, Tess Reynolds from the Adelaide Adrenaline. We have number 12, Natalie Aris from the Adelaide Adrenaline. Number 36, Christine Cockrell from the Melbourne Ice. Number 5, Georgia Carson from the Melbourne Ice, another defenseman. And we have number 19, Andrea Lim from the Sydney Sirens. Number 10, Shona Green from the Melbourne Ice, a forward. We have Taylor Botterill, forward, number 24 from the Adelaide Adrenaline. We have Kelly Harris, number 8 from the Adelaide Adrenaline. We have Courtney Poole, number 2, a defenseman from the Brisbane Goannas. Courtney Poole is also on our under-18 team and went in 2014 to the AWIHL Women's Development Camp. And this is Courtney's first season in the AWIHL, and she would be a contender for our Nellie G Rookie of the Year award, who is given to a promising young talent, the new rookie, with a focus on our under-18 players who are entering the league. Players allowed to play in the league after they turn 14 years old. I'll continue to list in a moment, but we've got a bit of back and forth action between Sydney and Melbourne. And Melbourne is certainly keeping more possession of the puck in the start of the second period here. But Godfrey able to grab the puck, and it's a foot race with Crystal Vandelwerf, who has had to take what I believe will be a hooking penalty to stop that shot on net. And the whistle is blowed. And yes, it will be number 17, Crystal Vandelwerf for the Melbourne Ice, who will go for a hooking penalty. So the Sirens will go on their third or fourth power play for the game as Crystal makes her way to the box. Crystal has just turned 18 years old and is a graduate from under-18 program as well. And she recently helped the under-18 team win their 5-game series against the New Zealand under-18 team when she scored an overtime goal in our game 5, and that was held in Melbourne in December. So we wish Crystal all the best as she proceeds to the senior ranks, as she is definitely one of our very talented up-and-coming players, and she has proven that over the last couple seasons playing in the league. So a few shouts out from the crowd with a number of collisions happening here now between Sydney and Melbourne in all the zones. Another mangled stick sitting down to the right of the Melbourne goaltender, who is now sort of pushing it into the corner out of her way. So the game is becoming a little more physical, with both teams showing their passion to want to be crowned the champion this season. We have 55 seconds left in Crystal Vandelwerf's penalty and 9:24 left in the period. 2-0 for the Melbourne Ice. If I continue on the list of players, we also have number 6, Tiffany Samming-Venning from the Brisbane Goannas. Another promising young defenseman who left our U18 program last year and has been with the Brisbane Goannas program since she was 12 years old. Started playing when she was 14 and was Rookie of the Year in her first season playing in the AWIHL. She's certainly showing her experience and strength from being in the program, being in the league now for 4 years. And I'm sure that Tiffany will step into a more senior role with the senior team this year in Spain. Offside called by linesman Chris Parks just outside the Melbourne zone. And it looks like they're now going to remove that mangled stick from the ice surface. Continuing on, we have Georgie Giblin, number 7 from the Brisbane Goannas, a forward who has also made the national women's team. Number 9, Brittany Parkin from the Brisbane Goannas, also another forward who's and the assistant captain of the Brisbane Goannas, who has made the team. Number 21, Kay Tahima, a forward from the Adelaide Adrenaline. Number 20, Tracy Hocott from the Brisbane Goannas, another forward. Number 12, Sharnita Crompton, who is a forward, does play a little bit of defense as well, it seems, with the Sydney Sirens. And I believe we have Kath McConey, number 14 for the Sydney Sirens. Another very veteran forward for the team, been with the national program for many, many years. So that's, we wish all of the selected national women's senior team players all the best of luck in Spain when they leave in the beginning of March. game is continuing here with Cochrane from the Sirens generating some offense around the Melbourne Ice net. Sirens need to work very hard here, keeping the puck in the zone. It hasn't been, the puck has not been in the Melbourne Ice zone very much this period. They're battling away, and Cochrane's looking dangerous in around the net, but unable to get a shot. And quickly the Melbourne Ice push it out of the zone. And the puck is moving in around the outside along the borders behind the net. And a puck pushed up into the front is collected by the Sydney goaltender. So the under-18 program was started in October 2012 and has been growing, doubling by numbers every year. My name is Tamara Jones. I am the head coach of the National Women's Under-18 team. We have now had several events, both locally and internationally, with our team, and we are very hopeful that we will be able to participate in the World Championship Under-18 qualification tournament in 2016. We had hoped to be able to go in 2015, but unfortunately the decision was made by the AWIHL that we were a standby for another team if they were unable to attend. However, they did all attend, and the tournament was held in Poland with Denmark winning the gold medal at the qualification tournament. So Denmark will go into the Division 1 U18s, and we hope to fill that 6th spot in 2016 to compete. So the program, like I said, has been started for 2 years, and our numbers continue to multiply, where we have probably had more than 50 different players at various camps over the 2 years, and we have several more on the list that are between 12 and 18 years old that we hope to see at future camps. So there's certainly opportunities for our young and up-and-coming female players, many of which do actually play in our AWIHL. I'll come back to that list and share who those players are in a moment. The Melbourne Ice are continuing to put a lot of pressure here on Sydney, who are fighting it off, but they really need to score a goal here in the second with 5:25 left to go, and it is 2-0 for the Melbourne Ice. So a penalty called to number 21, Aaron Bowe for the Sydney Sirens. So puts Melbourne back on the power play with 3:06 left in the second. It's 2-0 for the Ice. So a shot from the point for the Melbourne Ice and a tip by Lucy Parrington, number 14, sees the Melbourne Ice go up 3-0 and capitalize yet again on the power play. So it's 2 power play goals for the Ice, putting them in a lead 3-0. Sees to deflate the Sydney Sirens at the moment. They need to rally and be productive here in the second. Possibly the advantage for the Sydney or the Melbourne Ice for having the longer break is proving to put them in an advantage at the moment. With the Sydney Sirens looking like their legs could be a little bit heavy, and those penalties are going to be costly, so they're going to need to keep their sticks down on the ice and keep their feet moving and stay out of the box here if they're going to be successful. But certainly it must be on the Sydney Sirens coaching staff a must to get a goal here very soon. I think, in fact, it's probably with urgency before the end of the period for them to be able to be competitive in the third to win the championship this season. And there's a chance here by McCabe, who's been a very effective player from Sydney all season and certainly throughout the tournament here this weekend. McCabe tapping her stick against the boards, showing a little bit of frustration. Things are not quite going their way at the moment. So coming back to some of the under 18 players who are here this weekend playing in the finals. And these are current under 18 team players. We have from the Adelaide Adrenaline, number 12, Natalie Aris, who, yes, you heard before, has also made the national women's senior team as well this season. And number 21, Kate Tahima, who has also made the senior team this season as well. So we wish both of those under 18 team players best of luck as they join the senior ranks. This will be the first time for number 12, Natalie Aris, and I believe this is the second time for Kate Tahima. From the Sydney Sirens, we have number 53, Holly McFadden, has been part of the U18 program and will soon graduate in the next year. And is definitely a strong defenseman for the Sydney Siren and up-and-comer with them. And we look forward to seeing Holly join the ranks with her other under 18 members playing at the senior level soon. We also have goaltender Tiana Alea Weisler, who's also our one of our goaltenders for the under 18 team. So she's been one of the backup goalies for the Sirens all season to her now goalie coach, Sarah Duckamatri. So that completes the end of the period. It's 3-0 for the Melbourne Ice over the Sirens at the moment. At the end of the second, we're having another flood as both teams make their way to change room. I'm sure that they have a bit of talking to do. So play is underway here in the third, and quickly within 10 seconds there is a shot from Shona Green on the Sydney Sirens goaltender, who quickly covers that. And a turnaround back the other way with a loose puck flopping up over the net behind the Melbourne goaltender. So play has continued, and the Melbourne has possession of the puck, looking to move it through the neutral zone. Oh, and a dangerous play here for Melbourne, having control of the puck. And with the Sydney goaltender down, somehow she is able to cover the puck, and we will have a face-off to the right of the Sydney goaltender. So while we're waiting, just going back to the Youth Olympic Games, I'll just let you know that I believe from memory, I don't have my notes with me, but that we have athletes that are born from 2000 and 2001 who are eligible to participate in the Youth Olympic Games that will be held in Norway. Of course, they do need to qualify, and a participant should be selected following the proper selection process here in Australia to select our candidates. And then I believe the process is that they will need to attend a qualification round in Varamaki by the end of July. So the dates are that we need to have our participants confirmed by May, and then they will need to go and compete with the rest of the world to qualify for the number of positions that are allocated for participation in the actual Youth Olympic Games come next February. So we wish all of the both male and female participants who are in those age groups and eligible for potential selection, and I'm sure that they will represent Australia very well should they be selected. So we're back to the game here, 15-20, and Melbourne still with strong control of the puck, but the play is picked off by Charlotte Godfrey, who is then taken down at the Melbourne blue line. So again, Melbourne looking a little bit fresher here from their day off and holding possession of the puck, and the Sirens are continuing to battle, trying to gain possession and produce some offense to get back into this game. So that's the whistle for a face-off to the right of the Sydney goaltender. And play will resume shortly. So I hope as viewers you're enjoying the games, being able to watch the live feed. I think it's been very rewarding for you to be able to watch the games wherever it is that you are watching from. And as you saw, there was just a goal scored there by the Melbourne Ice. Again, I believe by one of the Melbourne Ice import players. So I think it's going to take a lot from the Sydney Sirens to rally here to get back into this game, but they are lining up quite confidently. They're willing to have a go at it. So hopefully they can get rid of that 0 on the scoreboard and Kaylee White is starting us off, trying to make that effort with a strong shot on net, generating a face-off to the right of the Melbourne Ice goaltender. I will say though, again, as I was talking about before, I think it's been fantastic that we have had so many live feeds from the different states. I know it's happening here in Adelaide with the adrenaline, and we thank Thor Technologies and Matt Reck for making these arrangements. John Devine in Brisbane through the Brisbane Sports Radio has been a great supporter of the Brisbane Goannas and the AWIHL for the last couple of years and been doing live stream there. And I'm not exactly sure who in Sirens is responsible for the live feed, but I do know that Melissa Ruley, one of the coaches of the Sydney Sirens, has been active in making sure that that's been available for the Sydney Sirens games. So again, a shout out to all of the people involved with being able to provide the pathway and access for all of you at home who know players or are interested in what's happening with women's hockey in Australia to be able to follow the games. Again here, Melbourne continuing to put more pressure on the Sirens. Definitely strong performances from all of the Melbourne Ice import players. And a penalty is called as Shauna Green for the Melbourne Ice is tripped up by number 12, Sharnita Crompton, who returns to the box for the second time this evening. So play is controlled again here by Melbourne, putting a lot more offensive pressure on the Sydney Sirens team here on the power play. Again, I believe they have been 2 for 3 on the power play this evening. And on the power play, we do have number 19, Lindsay Audio, who is an import, and we also have the captain, Shauna Green, who is Australian. We have number 14, Lucy Parrington, who's Australian. We had number 72, Christina Beslin, who is an import. And I believe Jelly Thacker, I believe, might be from New Zealand, so not classified as an intention, as a import in that brought over for the season, but certainly not from Australia. So I'm not sure what's happened here, but Sharnita Crompton came out of the box as the Melbourne Ice scored and made it 5-0, and she has quickly returned back to the box with another 2 minutes put up on the board. So I'm not sure what happened there. Possibly something said to the official out of frustration, I don't know. But nonetheless, the Melbourne Ice are back now on the power play. So it's not looking good for the Sydney Sirens. They're certainly going to have difficulty making their way back in the game on the penalty kill. And I think possibly a little bit of frustration sinking in. It's been a very long weekend for them. It's very difficult playing a team that's feeling quite fresh. So the Melbourne player is down at the blue line. That is number 27, Pageant, seemed to be knocked over a little bit by Captain Kaylee White from Sydney. But she has gotten up and returned to her own bench. And an offside call, and play will resume very shortly. Yeah, so just clarification that Sharnita Crompton, when she came out of the box from her previous penalty for tripping within seconds of returning to the ice, was called for another tripping infraction. So there's 55 seconds left in that penalty, and the Ice are continuing to put more pressure here on the Sirens, who are able to put enough pressure to clear the puck from their end zone. So nice and cold on the Melbourne Ice. Seems like Riley Pageant is okay after that. She's returned to the ice the next shift, so that's good to see. And we got a face-off now back in the Melbourne ice zone. And Thacker, one of the other imports from New Zealand, was a little late for the change, so center kicked out and play has resumed. So it's a bit of a showcase for both teams here of import goalies playing on both sides for these teams. The Sydney Sirens, though, have had Sarah Dogamatri, who is Australian and also has a Turkish background. And we congratulate Sarah Dogamatri, who has been playing as a goaltender for Team Turkey for her second year now in a row. And also for the second year in a row, she has been named an MVP of the tournament. But Team Turkey has just won a gold medal at the Women's World Championships qualification tournament. So Sarah Dogamatri will lead her Team Turkey into the same division that Australia is currently in, going to participate in Spain in March. So I'm sure that the Australians are tending to go and win a gold medal in Spain. However, should they be unsuccessful with that, it's quite possible that Sarah Dogamatri will meet some of her teammates at a World Championship. So again, congratulations to Sarah Dogamatri, who is on a plane right now returning from Hong Kong. She was the same tournament that Ainsley Gardner was officiating at. And we congratulate her for that, both her performance as a MVP for the tournament and also the gold medal, moving her team out of the qualification tournament. So it's unfortunate with the timing of that tournament with the AWIHL. So she was a very strong goaltender throughout the season. I would certainly think that both her and Keisha Atkins were the two Australian goalies who logged the most minutes throughout this season. And it's ironic that Sarah Dogamatri is the female goalie coach for the national women's team and program. So we have a coach and one of her goalies as our two sort of dominant Australian goalies at the moment in terms of ice time they have logged with the AWIHL. But of course, we have Michelle Coonan, and we also have Joe Phillis, who play for the Melbourne Ice and the Adelaide Gentlemen, respectively, who have had some time between the pipes this season, albeit limited. But they will certainly be challenged at their World Championship in Spain. So we do wish those goaltenders all the best with the national women's senior team. So with that departure, though, of Sarah Dogamacha with the Sirens, they have had their import come in and support them for the finals. And they do have Tiana, who's an under-18 team goalie, who's on the bench at the moment and has had also some ice time throughout this season and did a great job for her debut. She's been with the program for a few years, but had the opportunity to actually get in and get some action, and I'm certain that she will continue to see more action with the Sirens in the future. We look forward to seeing Janelle Carson, another under-18 team goalie, get some action in the AWIHL in future seasons. She is one of the third goalies with the Melbourne Ice and has yet to get any experience at the AWIHL level, but has been practicing with her team, and I'm sure that some opportunities will be presented to her to develop in the AWIHL in the future. So we look forward to seeing all three of our under-18 goalies continue to gain experience, valuable experience they need in the AWIHL to make them successful at the international level. So with that, we have 7:30 left in the third period. It's 5-0 the Melbourne Ice over the Sydney Sirens. And it seems to be a little bit one-sided, unfortunately, at the moment. And I'm hoping that the Sydney Sirens can show us a bit of spark and getting a goal to energize their team to have a go at tying the game up and giving them a chance to in the game. So just watching here now, it's another stoppage of play on the left side, or sorry, the right side of the Melbourne Ice goalie. So strong play there by Olivia Delbasso, number 18 for the Melbourne Ice, has just gone end-to-end wide with a lot of speed, showing her experience from playing in Minnesota Division 1 over the last couple of years. A very strong player for Australia. And one of the few players who's had the opportunity to compete overseas, and the first, I believe, to play at the NCAA Division 1 level in the United States. So an achievement for Delbasso, who collects the puck again with a lot of speed and confidence, passing the puck to teammates. Oh, and a return that she's unable to capitalize on. So Olivia Delbasso is another Perth-based player as well, and has recently expressed some interest in being involved, developing some of our younger players, and we're looking forward to the experience she can bring and support a lot of new young talent in Perth. We have Jo Frankenberger, who is the assistant coach for the National Women's U18 team, who is based out of Perth. And herself and Jody Atkins, who is Keisha Atkins' mother, have been very successful at getting a lot of opportunities for Perth-based players, with support, of course, of the WA Ice Hockey State Association. So again, we're seeing a lot of very young talent come out of Perth at the moment, and we look forward to seeing them emerge on the AWIHL stage. Because in the past, we only had a few players from Perth come, and Delbasso plays for the Ice, and there are several players from Perth who have played for the Brisbane Goannas over the years. Too many to count on one hand, actually. Maddie Kalb and Laurie Mason, and Jo Frankenberger herself. We've had, well, there's Sam Ellis, who used to reside in Queensland, has played, that is now a referee in Perth. And of course, Christy Brusk, who was a national senior team goalie for many years and the goalie for the Brisbane Goannas. So Perth has certainly been on the radar in the women's program for many years, but as I said, there's a lot of very young talent coming through there now. So we wish Jo and Keisha and all the rest of the administrators in Perth the best with developing that talent, and I'm sure that Olivia Delbasso will have some good things to contribute. So going back to the game here, 4:41 left in the game, it's 5-0. Sydney haven't been able to be a big threat yet offensively, but they're certainly continuing to battle hard and keep Brisbane to the outside. On the ice here now, we've got Twitter, who has been an import for the Melbourne Ice, and I think stayed on for a longer period. He's now back playing on defense. And a pass over to her teammate, number 23 for the Melbourne Ice. And there's another goal. So that's Pereira, who scored from out the point on a bit of a screen in front of the net. The Melbourne Ice seem very excited about that. Perhaps that's her first goal of the season or in the AWIHL. I'm not sure, but they seem very thrilled with that result. So 4:09 left in the period. It's 6-0 for the Melbourne Ice. And McKay picks the pocket of the Melbourne defenseman and takes the puck down into the Melbourne zone, but unable to get a shot in the play. Quickly comes back the other way with the Melbourne import, number 72, getting possession, taking a shot that goes wide. So we're down to 1 minute, 9 seconds left in the period. Remains 6-0. And the face-off is in the Sydney zone. And a big save made by the Sydney Sirens goalie there. Loose puck coming out from the point. Looks like Georgie Carson was the shooter there. So, as the Goannas president and someone who's been involved in the AWIHL, started to create it many years ago, I think that everyone who's watched all the games over the weekend can say that the level of play has certainly improved from year to year. It's been a very close competition between the 4 teams, so we congratulate all the 4 teams for their efforts and competitiveness this weekend. And it looks like, with 24 seconds remaining, that we can say that the Melbourne Ice will be crowned the champions for the 2014-15 season. And the Sydney Sirens will earn their first silver medal for the competition since its inception. So we congratulate the Sydney Sirens for their silver medal. And congratulations to Adelaide, who played for the first time in the bronze medal game since the inception of the league and were successful over the Brisbane Goannas. And the buzzer will show that that is now all fact. So there will be Melbourne Ice, Sydney Sirens, Adelaide Adrenaline, and the Brisbane Goannas. And that will conclude this season. So again, I wish the national women's senior team all the best of luck and all their players in Spain. I wish the U18s all the luck with continuing to develop, and we hope that we can represent Australia at the UN Under-18 qualification tournament 2016. Wish all the eligible candidates for the Youth Olympic Games the best of luck with potential selection. And again, thank you to all of the live media streams that have been able to provide access for people globally to be able to check out the action of the AWIHL. And I will sign off saying thank you. I'm sorry that my voice is dwindling from a very big weekend, and hope that I was able to give you some insight about the National Women's Program. And thanks for listening. See you next time. Last shout out to the Adelaide Adrenaline for being host for this event. I think it's been an excellent event, and Joe Phillis, I believe, has been the chair of the event, who, as I said earlier, is a national women's team goalie and a backup goalie for the Adelaide Adrenaline. Thank you for all your efforts, Joe, and all of your team who made this an exciting event here in Adelaide. Much appreciated. Oh, well, I'm back again. We still have the live feed going. As you can see, we're doing the tournament awards. Just completed the thanking of all the teams and everyone involved in the tournament for hosting a good event, and we thanked all the officials on and off the ice for their efforts over the weekend. And the Melbourne Ice, Shona Green, captain, has just come and collected the tournament trophy. So the awards are now being given out, and that is the top points player, Olivia Del Basso, number 18 for the Melbourne Ice, is being awarded. So Bethany Kavanagh from the Adelaide Adrenaline, for the second season in a row now, has been voted as the MVP forward. This is voted as a 3-2-1 system from all of the teams. Put in their 3-2-1s for overall MVP forward for the season. Obviously, Del Basso's award is the top points person. That's done through point streak statistics. So congratulations to Olivia Del Basso for being the top points scorer, and to Bethany Kavanagh for keeping her title as the top forward in the league, voted in by all 4 teams. So the best defensive player for the season is also a return winner. Sari Lehman, for the second time in a second season in a row, has been voted in, as I said, to that 3-2-1 voting system as the best overall defensive player in the league. So congratulations to Sari Lehman. So the best goaltender award has been given to the Adelaide Adrenaline import goalie. And that is number 30, Shannon Gibbelhaus. So the Rookie of the Year given to one of the youngest young talents has been given for now the third year in a row to a Brisbane Goannas player, and that is Courtney Poole, a defenseman from WA. So congratulations to Courtney Poole for the Nellie G Rookie of the Year. Well deserved, playing every other shift all season long as a rookie. So congratulations, Courtney. So a special award is being given out now to Rocky Pageant, who is our IHA Women's Director and has been involved in the program for many, many years. And he is now being congratulated by a team of former national women's team players. So we now have Melissa Ruley, Kelly White, Shona Grain, Tash Feria, Candace Mitchell and Sari Lehman up, congratulating Rocky for a Lifetime Achievement Award in Hawaii for all of his contribution to the women's program over the years. So congratulations to Rocky, certainly well deserved. So the Adelaide Adrenaline have been invited up to collect their bronze medals. So congratulations to the Adelaide Adrenaline. The Sydney Sirens are now being invited up to collect their silver medals. So congratulations to the Sydney Sirens. I believe since the league became formal league, this is their first silver medal. So well deserved, and congratulations to the Sirens. So the Melbourne Ice have now been invited up to collect their gold medals and are heading around to congratulate the rest of the teams. So the congratulations to the Melbourne Ice for being the AWIHL champions this season. So this concludes our action for the AWIHL this season. You can see that the teams are now all leaving the ice, and the Melbourne Ice are having their championship photos taken. So I'll sign off again officially now. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your support, and I'm sure we look forward to an exciting season next year.